Awesome. So yeah, the reason we got here together today is just to kind of share some mindset and just share with each other a way of just trying to exchange and help each other see some things we may already know, some things we may need to learn and adjust. But it's always good to repeat things. That's the mother of all skill, right? Repetition. So my name is Ian Hyatt. I'm retired military. I have multiple coaching certifications through Tony Robbins. I also work as undergrad Perdone through as a licensee, and I'm doing different things of trying to just help people out and make more money and save more money in different various ways. And we have some other really great people here too. I believe, Jimmy, you also want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Jimmy Bahila, right outside the Charlotte, North Carolina market. Basically, I was doing life insurance for several years. I even back before that, I was doing restaurants. So I got a lot of restaurant experience and then life insurance. But with that life insurance, I always thought bigger. Always said, okay, wait a minute, maybe I could own my own business. There's only so much you can do by yourself. So I knew very quickly that I was out there, I was grinding, I was doing a lot of work, but a lot of times you find out very quickly it takes the work of others to really get where you want to go. And by helping them give, try to help them get what they want, guess what we get? We get what we want. So I'm here today just to provide a little bit of a mindset as well. Things that have got me through the ruts and through the hard times. Of course, I think all of us will agree. We'll talk about a little bit about our whys, and we'll talk about a little bit about keeping that the main thing, and not tearing off to different ways, and actually what reminds us of those whys, and then also going back to each day. I'm sure all of us have a daily routine of something we do each day to keep that mindset in check, because we're being pulled every direction with phones and computers and family and friends and everything else, and the struggles of just day to day, not even running a business or an opportunity. So, but yeah, I'm Jimmy. I appreciate the time. Absolutely. I look forward to opening up a little bit more here as we get going.
So please scroll the left hand.
All right. Yep. There she goes. She muted. All right. I guess I'll go next. All right. So my name is John, or people call me Coach John. So I used to be a mechanical engineer, but at my very heart, I'm a martial artist, right? So I switched from full-time engineering to being a martial arts instructor to creating this business called Life is Hard, Fighting is Easy. It's also my philosophy in life and my mindset. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, a fighter's mindset, martial artist mindset, and how that can translate to our daily lives, right? Even people that never threw a punch in their life can still have that mindset, right? So I'm going to talk a few points about that, and then maybe a quick story, and then I'll turn it over to you guys. It's great being here.
I'm going to go up next. Is that cool? You guys hear me? So my name is Gino Oriana. My business is Ginoversity, helping you conquer adversity. I'm a certified coach, speaker, and mentor with Grant Cardone. And I'm a retired barber. That was my first business that I opened at 20 years old, currently 27. And mindset is the most important thing, because that was the first thing I had to change, jumping into entrepreneurship and breaking all the negativity and all the societal norms that are poured into our minds from our families, friends, loved ones, breaking those boundaries, breaking all of that. And mindset was number one, and believing that I could achieve bigger and better, even just with my own self and my own businesses. So mindset is one of the most important things for me, and it has enormously changed my life.
Well, awesome. Glad to have everybody here today, and I guess I'll go ahead and kick some things off. And I think that the main thing is that it's the simple things in life that have made the biggest shifts in all areas of life. It's like people overlook them. They're so simple. Like just to change your body, for example, to change your physical being is already going to shift you, right? And then if you shift your language, you use a different word, doesn't it feel different? Like, hey, I feel good today versus I'm extraordinary. Like it's just the simple shifts in your language or the simple shifts in your body. And then it starts to shift your focus, which is your mindset, right? What are you thinking about daily? What you talk about and what you do is a lot of the things that you're going to be focusing on. So if you're going to go ahead and just do these simple shifts, it's really going to make the big results in your life. And it's really just all about going out there and seeing things, what you really want them, as if they already exist. So if I want to be someone great, I want to go ahead and imagine myself as that great person. I want to use this tool I have here, this really powerful tool of my imagination, to see myself as if it's already achieved. Because what's that going to do for me when I see myself already achieving those things in my mind? I'm going to start to create emotions and create feelings within myself that's going to create confidence. And then it comes down to activity, because if you have confidence, now you're more willing to go out there and do something. And it's really going to be a little easier for you. And it's really just as simple as that, like really just creating a vision, using your imagination as if there's no limitations. See what your life would be like if it was already perfect. Everything was the way you want it to be. Everything is how you want it. And that's going to start to pull you forward. That's going to create something that's called faith, right? Faith is one of the most powerful things we have that we can use. And it's created in our subconscious mind by triggering through affirmations or through just focusing in imagination and meditations and seeing things as if they could be already achieved. You're going to start to have faith that if you did the things you're doing currently today, it can happen. It's possible. And when you combine that vision with faith, you start to get an emotional response. It generates motive for you to take the action. So once you create this vision and this faith, now you're going to start to feel like, hey, I want to do something about it. And that's when you start to take the action. That's where you're actually going to get down in there and get the results. Because without the action, you're going to get nothing. And you have to be able to motivate yourself daily. And this is not something like, hey, we want to do it one time. And we also have to be aware that, the positive is just as easy as a negative. It's just as easy. It takes just as amount of energy to think about positive as it does to think about the negative. So you really want to try and catch yourself, and it's a routine. It's a practice, and you have to find a reason big enough why that you're going to be determined to do this every single day. You got to make a decision, which means you're going to have to dissect from all other options, have no other choice but to go out there and win or give it your all trying. And you have to create this decision every single day. It's not like you do it one time. Like you don't just take a shower once per day, right? And you're good for the year. No, every day you go out there, you do something, you get some dirt on, you got to go home and take a shower. So this has to be part of a daily routine where you wake up and you make a decision. Hey, I'm going to be there. I'm going to create faith. I'm going to create the mindset and the thinking and the positivity in my life that's going to create the momentum so I can take the action. And you have to start there with a reason why. Why would you do it? Why would you put yourself through that? Well, you have to have a big enough reason why, because all people do things for either pain or pleasure. You either want to avoid pain or you want to get more pleasure. So you have to make it so painful to stay where you are that you want to move. And you have to make it so pleasurable to go where you want to be that you'll do whatever it takes to get there. And the best thing to do is to figure out why. And when you think you know why, you need to go deeper, go at least 5 levels deep. It should invoke such a strong emotion within you that you say, that's it, enough, never again am I staying here for the pain. And that's it. That's so pleasurable over there. I will do whatever it takes. Nothing will stop me. And it's really as simple as that. Like, winners never quit. If you want to win, you have to never quit. And the only way to never quit is to consistently be pouring into yourself a reason why you would keep going despite whatever's going on. And it's always going to be massive action that gets you there. There's no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to be there to be a victim and say, oh, I've got to wait for this guy or this or that or the other. Everyone's got an excuse. But the reality is it's up to you to take the actions to go out there and get what you want in your life. And part of that is to look at your mindset and to find the things that they're going to motivate you, the things that are going to inspire you, the things that are going to create that faith for you to go out there and really knock it out the park and get what you want. And it really comes down to commitment. Are you committed to your dreams? Are you committed to what you want in life? Or are you just interested? Because if you're just interested, you're never going to do what it takes. To truly be committed means you'll do whatever it takes. You made a decision. You cut off all other options. You're going to burn the boats. You don't have an option to run backwards and retreat. You can go forward or go forward. That's your only option. That's when you're truly committed. And when you do this, when you do take yourself to this level and you start to do these simple things every single day, just like you take a shower to clean yourself, you take a shower inside your mind, you imagine yourself every day where you want to be, and you create that faith every day. And then you go out there and take that action with that faith that created that momentum. You're going to start to get results. And it's really as simple as that. And people overlook it because it's so simple. I mean, what is it worth to you to take an extra 10 or 15 minutes out of your day just to focus and get yourself clear on what you want in your life? Are your dreams worth it? Are your family worth it? Right? What is it worth it for you? And what does it cost you to not do this? That's the biggest question. Whoever wants to take it from there.
Absolutely. I'll jump in on that. Yeah, you made some very valid points on there, and definitely some good stuff for everybody. And one of the things that I want to kind of pick apart on that is that daily routine. I think too many times throughout the day we're just pulled in so many different directions. And I've written down a list for myself, and I hope maybe this will be a value of someone else. But get up early, get up before everybody else. I get more stuff done before the alarm clock goes off, before the coffee maker goes off. I get a lot of things done in that first hour and a half. That can be even a walk by yourself. I actually listen to, here's an app for you, Clubhouse app. There's a gentleman on there does affirmations in the morning. You can go to YouTube, type in affirmations, and you can hear the I can, I am, I will, I must. I say that to myself all the time. I can, I am, I will, I must, over and over. And getting up early really gets that mind going in the right direction, because nothing, and get away from the phone. Put the phone down, put the emails down. Don't do that stuff till about 7, 8 o'clock. Get up early, get up around 5, 6 o'clock in the morning when it's still dark outside. I a lot of times will race the sun. I got to race the sun up. And when you do that, when you start getting into that routine and again, a routine of getting up over and over, and then getting that affirmation going, what happens is it triggers that mindset to all of a sudden you now know, I've got to get up and I got to do this. I got to get up and I got to go do this, because too many times, again, you check an email and all of a sudden something's happened, or you check a Facebook and somebody didn't say something you liked, or somebody's talking about somebody else, and all of a sudden you're back in the negative again. And Ian said it best just a few minutes ago. It takes the same amount of energy. And get this, so it takes about, I think it's 10 positive to reset a negative. 10 positives to reset a negative. So how many positives do we have to hear over and over? So that's one of the things, is get up early. The other one is, take a 20-minute break throughout the day. My mentor tells me go about 4 or 5 hours and then kind of do a little reset. Okay, what have you got done? What did you do? I always say eat the frog. One of the things about eat the frog is do the hardest thing first. Get that thing out of the way. Whatever it is, if you knock that out before in the 9, 10 o'clock hour in the morning, now it's done. Now you don't even have to worry about it. Now you feel like you've already accomplished something. So if you can go out there and accomplish it, now it's like, okay, I can now done that, and I did my 1%. So getting that 1% growth daily is kind of the objective here. And then, going back on Ian about the decision that today is going to be a good day, that getting up early and telling yourself, today, I'm going to have a good day and I'm going to make it, because it doesn't matter what everybody else does. Who cares what they think? Do what you want to do and get out of your own way. Because a lot of times, I know I'm a personal example of that, is I was just stopping myself. And I think a lot of people do that. They say, well, I'm not worth it. I don't think I can do that. When in actuality, it's totally up to you. It's your decision who you're listening to. And that would be my first note there, is be careful who you listen to. Are you listening to successful people that are on where you want to go? Or you listen to people that are not successful, that aren't going anywhere, and they're still in the same place they've been for the past 10 years. I see a lot of my friends are still doing the same thing. They're living in the same house. They're going to the same job. They're eating the same tomato sandwich at lunch that they've done for the past 20 years. How's that going to get you anywhere? So you really got to get out of that comfort zone and actually start making those decisions that I'm going to change my life. I'm going to do something different. And me and Ian were talking about this earlier. It's those small little steps. Is those steps, just one step at a time. One step. I know my wife, I told her a suggestion the other day, and I mean, it blew her mind. And I'm like, wait a minute, let's slow down. Let's do step by step. One step at a time, one step. Another thing is, if you go from Charlotte, right outside my house, Charlotte, North Carolina, to California, and you go a straight line, but if you move off 1 degree, just 1 degree, you'll miss the whole state of California. Just 1 degree. So that 1 degree in your mindset, if you can change just that little, like Ian was saying, just a little shift, just a small shift each and every day, where are you going to be in 5 years? Where are you going to be in a year? Where are you going to be in the end of the month? By just a small shift that I can, I am, I will, I must. And then the last thing is action. Taking that action is, if you don't take the action, nothing's going to change. It doesn't matter what decision you make. You can make a decision, I'm going to do this, and then nobody does it. That's a lot of the mentality that a lot of folks have. But if you can go say, I'm going to change something, think about that why that Ian mentioned, Why do I want to do this? Now I've got to make a decision, and now I have to take action on it, and do something that changes the outcome. All of a sudden, doing more. Me and Ian, we like to do massive action. These guys have worked with Grant Cardone a lot. We talk about that massive 10x it. Don't just do 5 more, do 25 more, do 105 more. And that's when you'll really start seeing the results. But what we're trying to do here with this, I think with this webinar, is just change just a little bit and see how much it changes in the long term. I'll sum it up with repetition of going and just constantly over and over and over. I was watching Bob Proctor. If you haven't watched Bob Proctor, jump on one of his webinars, he's got thousands, millions of views on his YouTube. God rest his soul, back in February. But my point is he's got a lot of good mindset stuff. And one of his top ones that I noticed had 3 or 4 million views was repetition. Is watching something over and over, and watch what you're watching. Get that positive mindset. And there's nothing wrong with a Tony Robbins or any of those guys. Watch that stuff over and over. You wouldn't believe how many times I've even cut off my cable now. There's no point. There's nothing else on. There's just no news. Is not positive. Okay, you've got to get away from that stuff and get into that positive. Hey, I can, I am, I will, I must. And some of these speakers out there that are successful. By the way, look at their track record. They're successful. Listen what they're doing. Listen at the activity that they're doing. Watch their routines. Read their books. You see Think and Grow Rich behind me. That's one I recommend. Of course, The Science of Getting Rich. Read books. Read 5 pages a day. My wife, I asked her that. So you ain't been reading it much lately. Oh, but the book's too big. Read 5 pages a day. Baby steps. Do 5 pages a day. Do 5 pages a day. And you'll get to where you want to get. So anyway, I'm Jimmy Bohiler. Nice to meet you guys. And hopefully it has a little bit of value to you. So I'll pass it over to John.
All right, that's amazing, guys. Right. So again, I'm Coach John. So let me start a little bit with like I was a competitive fighter, right? I did Muay Thai, I did mixed martial arts, I did all that stuff. And the thing that I translated from martial arts to my daily life is just one, creating a vision in your mind, right? Because before, I don't care, any fighter or street fighter or a martial artist, they've been doing it 30 years. If they walk into the ring, they're going to get scared, right? Everybody gets fearful, right? Just like in life, you got a huge presentation, you got a huge webinar, you got a huge whatever you have to do. There's going to be that fear that sets in, right? Going through that fear, right? Just walking and barreling it down without in Thailand. I visited Thailand back in 2013, and one of the sayings they had in Thai was called "No fear, no back." That means you never back down, right? And you never have fear. And if you do, you just go for it anyway, right? So that brings you to that massive action that both Ian and Jimmy were talking about, right? Don't just do something times 10, multiply it. Just go, right? Taking it back to what both Ian and Jimmy were talking about with creating that vision in your mind, that's something that I go back and do every single morning, right? Part of my daily routine. I've noticed a huge difference. If I slip one morning and then I don't do it, I find my whole day just goes down and down and down, right? I take that vision, right? I write down my goals. I write them down times 10, and then I start visualizing in my mind. It doesn't have to take an hour. It doesn't have to sit and meditate or be spiritual or anything like that. All you got to do is take a few breaths, right? Take a step back, right? Look at yourself from kind of the outside, right? Put yourself in the place that you want to be. Where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you want to be in a year? Where do you want to be in 5 years, right? Put yourself exactly in that place. And I believe Bob Proctor and also Brian Tracy is another big motivational speaker that I listen to. And they said, the more detailed that you can get that vision, right? There's a whole work, like free writing exercise that I can go through with you. But the more detailed that you make that vision, the more likely it is that you will see it, the more likely it is that it will happen, right? So, okay. The other thing, the last thing I wanted to touch on was focus. All right. Because it doesn't matter if you are going into a fight, it doesn't matter if you are working a day job or if you're trying to start a business, right? All those things, you have to have a centralized focus. And if you let yourself slip, like I think Jimmy said, like that one little slip up, one mishap, right? If I go back to the ring and I'm in there and I don't dodge that punch from 1 millimeter, bang, my bell is rung, right? They're gonna hit me, right? Self-defense in the street is the same way, right? You miss one time, right? You're on the ground. My coaches would tell me all the time. They said, keep your chin down, keep looking forward, right at your opponent, right at whoever's in front of you, right? If you let your head go up, if you try looking around, start getting distracted, like the fans start yelling stuff at you, right? Or the radio or whatever it is that's going to distract you, and you lose focus, then you slip, and that's it. You're going to be looking up at the ceiling, right? Because you got knocked out. All right. So I mean, that's about all I have on mindset today. Just keep moving forward, right? Keep your head down. That's it. So I'm going to turn it over to Gino now.
Let's go. Genoversity, helping you conquer adversity, man. Mindset is literally my favorite topic. And I want to start this off. Everyone had amazing valid points, the small tweaks, the vision, the affirmations. Those are super important. Vision, that is key. But one of my biggest recommendations, small book, small read, is How Successful People Think by John Maxwell. And one of my favorite quotes when it comes to mindset is, no one can destroy iron but its own rust. Likewise, no one can destroy a person but its own mindset. So you literally have control right here in your mind to be able to do that. And something that I think, that I've come to learn about mindset and in the brain and the way our thinking works is, where there's no vision, people perish, which is why a vision is super important. You need to be able to see and visualize what you want. And a great way to grow and get better to that, it's go out there, go to the stores of the future clothes you want, go to those dealerships and look at those cars, go to the neighborhood that you want to live in, take that trip to the dream city you want, because this is what happens when you do those things. It opens your mind up, and your mind is elastic. It's not plastic. Once you go out and you sit there and you see more and you see it's possible, there's a person just like you and I that lives in that house that's walking in. There's a person just like you and I that's hopping in that car. When you fly first class, it's said online, it's pretty repeatable, and it's a quote. Buy that first class ticket. Once you sit that first class ticket and you fly, and then you have to go again the second time and fly in business or in economy, your brain starts thinking and stirring when you walk by those first class seats, and it starts stirring and thinking as to, how can I afford that? Man, I need to get myself back in there. When I get back off this trip, how can I scale my business? What can I do? What are those small tweaks, those little things that I can do to change? Because I'm not trying to ride in the back no more. I'm trying to go to first class. I went to the dealership. I sat in that car. I saw how smooth it was. Man, my car don't ride like that. So your brain starts thinking and stirring. I don't know if I got cut off there. I got a call. It starts thinking, it starts stirring. And that's the thing. It goes into how mode. It starts thinking. And that's the most important thing. Focus. You have to have tunnel vision. See the light at the end of the tunnel. See the goal. See the target. And even like Jimmy said, when you're going from North Carolina to Cali, same thing with your goals. Same thing with everything. Just like even punching, you miss that. You don't duck and miss that punch by one time. You'll be on your back looking up at the lights. Same in a gun range. You shoot a gun. You're off by a hair. You miss the bullseye right in the middle. How can you tweak? How can you adjust? What small movement is going to get you to hit the target that's right in front of you? And that's my little say and pump into your mindset and why it's super important. Just remember that rust will destroy iron, just as your mindset will destroy your life, your goals, and your future. Only you and your mindset can destroy that. And I'll turn it over to Tanny or Ian.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. I really appreciate all the shares, and you hear the same things over and over, and that's a good thing. because repetition is the mother of all skill, but father is the action of all skill. So you have to go out there and take, you have to take the action. The action is the father of all skill. Sorry. So you have to go out there and take the action. So you hear this over and over and over again, put it on replay. It doesn't matter until you go out and apply it. It's really not going to get you the benefit you want. So we're gonna keep showing up here for everyone, and we're gonna try and create some more great content, and we'll keep it coming your way. But you got to show up and you got to apply it.